America's national debt has crossed a historic milestone, surpassing $40 trillion for the first time. According to the Treasury Department's latest daily cash and debt balances statement, total U.S. public debt reached $40.047 trillion on August 18, 2026. Of that total, $32.266 trillion is in Treasury securities held by the public, while another $7.782 trillion is held within government accounts. The scale and speed of the increase are raising fresh concerns about the long-term direction of America's finances. The debt has now more than doubled in less than a decade, rising from $19.95 trillion when Donald Trump first took office in January 2017. The climb from $39 trillion to $40 trillion took less than 5 months, while America's debt has quadrupled in under 20 years. Roughly one-third of the growth over the past decade came from intensive pandemic-era borrowing, with additional pressure coming from long-running tax and spending imbalances and policies under both the Trump and Biden administrations. During Trump's 2 terms, the national debt has increased by $11.6 trillion, including $7.8 trillion during his first term and $3.8 trillion since January 2025. Biden's 4-year term added another $8.4 trillion, driven by pandemic recovery measures, infrastructure spending, and clean energy subsidies. Meanwhile, mandatory programs including Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and Veterans Care now account for 60% of the annual $7 trillion federal budget, making it increasingly difficult to control overall spending. The cost of carrying this debt is now becoming one of Washington's biggest financial pressures. Net interest payments have reached $1.1 trillion, exceeding Pentagon funding in fiscal year 2025. In the first 10 months of fiscal year 2026, interest costs surpassed Medicare spending to become the federal budget's second-largest line item, behind Social Security. The U.S. also recorded a $432 billion deficit in July, its 4th-largest monthly deficit in history, while the deficit for the first 10 months of fiscal year 2026 has already exceeded the entire deficit for fiscal year 2025. The growing debt is also straining financial markets. Foreign investors, who hold nearly 1/3 of U.S. Treasuries, have shown declining demand, while long-term Treasury yields recently climbed to their highest levels in nearly 2 decades. Higher yields can push up borrowing costs for mortgages, auto loans, and businesses. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has responded by doubling buyback sizes for 10 to 30-year Treasuries to at least $4 billion per operation, while President Trump has dismissed concerns over bond market volatility and continued demanding lower interest rates.